I mean, talk about impossible question with this Final Four. I mean, I'd say Duke Houston, I'm obviously fascinated with, and I gave the reasons why a little bit ago. But I like the fact that Auburn and Florida have history and have history. Like, you know, Florida came into Auburn's building and beat them back in February. So there's a little, I think there's a little something added there for that particular game, being in the same conference. That's probably the one it feels crazy to say more intrigued by, but because I'm intrigued by both of them, but I'll go Auburn and Florida.
Jeff?
Yeah, for me, it's Auburn, Florida. You know, maybe I'm just kind of thinking Duke's probably going to win this one, but I've been counting Houston out, I mean, all year since I saw them in Vegas back in Thanksgiving. I love this Auburn-Florida matchup. I think, like Mike said, Auburn's going to be pissed off because they lost at their place to the Gators. Neither one of these teams has been like what we were used to, what we're accustomed to seeing them both for a while, for long stretches of the season. But to me, again, whoever wins that, you know, if it's against Duke, what a heavyweight match. I mean, all these games, all three of them are going to be great. Like, that's the beauty of this tournament right now, the way it shook out, right? Early on, we didn't have the upsets we wanted. We didn't have the Cinderellas moving forward. But, you know, we have the four best teams right now. And I love this Auburn-Florida matchup because I think it could go either way.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting about this is that Auburn has actually played each of the four teams that are in the Final Four right now. They beat Houston, obviously, on the second game of the regular season. They lost to Duke at home, at Cameron on December 4th, and then they lost to Florida at home on February 8th. I wonder if there's ever been a Final Four where one team has played the other three teams in the Final Four before. That's got to be something close to a first. I'm much more fascinated by the Duke Houston matchup in the first round or in the nightcap there, just because it's the best offense in college basketball against the best defense in college basketball, and that should be a thrilling matchup there. All right, Goodman, I'm going to hit you with this one. Which coach can add the most to their legacy with the national championship here now that they are heading to Houston?
I mean, you got to go with one of the two older guys, obviously, because, you know, Todd Golden and John Shire have a long time in front of them, even though, again, this is Shire's best team he's ever going to have, according to one Rob Doster. So he better win now, I guess. I would say, to me, I might go with Kelvin just because, again, I don't know how many shots he's going to have left at this thing. Bruce still might have a couple shots left because, let's face it, Auburn's going to get dudes still these next few years. I don't know how many years he's got, but they're going to be among the top of the sport for the next few years. Kelvin could retire, you know, next year, and Kellen Sampson, his son, will likely take over. So, yeah, he's a little bit older. I think Kelvin's 69. And Bruce is about 65-ish right now. So I would say Kelvin. I would say Kelvin has a little bit more on the line because this could be it for him. And I sucks saying that because, again, the guy's been at two Final Fours in the last 6. He's always getting to the second weekend. But you never know when he just says, you know what, I'm done. I'm out.
Mike?
I think it's Kelvin Sampson. Because I think it's just been this build and build and build. It's, you know, getting to the Sweet 16s as many times as they have. It's the Elite Eights, it's the Final Fours, and then now just kind of, I think, topping it off with a national championship. I think speaks to what I talked about earlier with the culture and what they've built and the iterations of players that they've gone through, and they've maintained exactly that same level of success going to new conference, going 19-1 in a conference like the Big 12, and so I'm sticking with Kelvin Sampson on this. I think, and Bruce
they're
Pearl
healthy.
Obviously has a good case too, but they're healthy. Yeah,
and they're healthy. That's the beauty of Houston this year. Is like every year it's been something in the tournament that there's been an injury, a key injury, and that's the best thing for Kelvin right now. Is, they're healthy enough that if they don't, it's on them.
I think it's Bruce. I think Bruce has the most on the line here because Kelvin is a guy where I assume that Houston is always going to be this good every year because they've been this good every year for like 4 years in a row and 6 of the last 7 seasons, right? So I think that he's going to be in a place where he can more or less make another run at it just like this again. Now, I mean, Milos Uzan and Emmanuel Sharp are both juniors. They both still have another year of eligibility if they want to come back. So does JoJo Tugler, who has a very, very bright future in the sport of basketball with the way that he plays. But I think it's Bruce. I don't know if Bruce is he'll have good teams at Auburn. I don't know how often he's going to have a team that is this good at Auburn. Like this is different than a lot of even the year that he made the Final Four last time. They were a 5 seed heading into the tournament, right?
I'm hearing, just so you know, I'm already hearing they're in strong for Flory Badunga, who they were in strong with coming out of high school. So that would be a pretty good ad if they start there.
Yeah, that would not be a bad addition to their roster. Listen.